and welcome back to a live recorded audience episode of
Hey Soleil!
Oh my gosh, I am really excited about this episode, and not only because I've got an extraordinary individual. He is a generational comedian, he's an actor, he's a director, he's an artist. From internet sketches to sold-out tours, television deals, building an entertainment empire. His journey is one of faith, vision, and persistence. So, without further ado, please welcome Kevin Fredericks, aka KevOnStage.
Hello, friends. How are you? Real quick, I have to say, Marley, you were amazing in Hell's Kitchen last night. I mean, just seeing you as a little kid and then seeing you in Broadway in between, like never seeing any plays, I was mesmerized.
Wow.
I was like, man, you really up on here doing a Broadway tour.
Kissing boys on stage.
Kissing boys. I was like, oh, little much.
Sorry.
Underwear, I was like, time out, y'all. It's a sweet little baby. She's in 4th grade. So it was like, hey, you feel like, forget college, man. I'm going to work. So I love it. It was amazing. I'm very proud of you. You were like, I was like, dang, I don't know how you, like, you had a lot of lines. You remember them? You did your dancing. You did your singing. You yelled at that white woman. Sorry to y'all. Is that you? You let that lady yell at you and she ain't never really eat no dinner. But that was just blown away. Like it's an amazing way to kick off your career. So congratulations to you. I was very proud to have seen you grow up.
Thank y'all. I mean, it's so huge, especially for you. But let me paint the picture for you. Okay. 2019, I'm 12 years old, and I only wanted to play sports and film skits. That got 0 likes on YouTube. And so imagine I meet your son, Isaiah Fredericks, and we hit it off great because that's all we really wanted to do. So middle school, when we should have been studying, really, we were making skits. We were making all of our non-actor friends participate in these skits. And I'm sure, you can imagine what that was like. Mike, can you play the clip?
Oh, snap.
I have something, Isaiah, you're going to love this. I have something really special prepared. All right, feast your eyes.
Oh, man, this is already...
Oh, who's that?
Hi, my name is Chad, and this is Fox 12 News.
He hates this stuff. This is so great. I'm so glad you did this. The screen is so big.
Thank you, Isaiah. It is actually very windy up here in Nebraska. And this...
Really?
So...
I love it.
Appreciate y'all. So that was us at 12.
Yeah.
And we were menaces, right? So I can only imagine what you were like at 12 years old. So I'm curious.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I didn't have like access to this technology when I was young in the late 1900s. So funny story. I wanted to do this, but we didn't have video cameras and things like that. So I was like still playing with toys, like secretly. I would come home from school like, yeah, all right, see y'all later, man. Strong. And then I would go in my room and close the door and be like really making the sounds, like telling stories and stuff like that.
When did you decide that, you wanted a life that looked different than, maybe what everyone else was around you?
I think I always did. And I know that sounds cliche a lot of times, but I remember being young. Well, not always. My first dream job, I wanted to work a wrecking ball machine. Like construction workers, the Miley Cyrus thing, like the guy who handles that and just destroys buildings. I was like, man, I want to do that. And then I remember capitalism must have like sunk in my brain early because I was like, there's probably not enough buildings to destroy for this to be my only job. I probably have to do other machines. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to use a digger. I just want to destroy buildings with the ball. But I think when I really, really, really wanted to take a shot and like actually go for it is when I got fired from KeyBank. I remember telling my wife, Isaiah's mom, she was like, okay, clearly you're going to get another job. We're going to make this happen, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, actually, I've been meaning to tell you, like, I want to do comedy for a living. And she was like, what are you talking? No, come on, man. Like, we lived in Tacoma, Washington at the time. There was no feasible way for comedy to be a living. I remember at the time, this is why I love her so much. She was like, okay, let's just make a plan for how you can do that. Part of that plan is you getting a job now, right? And then the rest we'll figure out. And, we kind of decided that once we get to a point where comedy's making enough money that it replaces my salary, then I could do it. And it took years. Like, I ended up working for the church, being on unemployment. I remember doing stand-up, and I got a job at Boeing. And it took about 4 years for me able to do it full-time. Creatives, I want you to know, you should never have any shame in having money to eat. You don't have to be like, man, the arts, man, I would never. You can go to work. But if I got to go back to work tomorrow, if I pick you up in the Uber, you give me 5 stars and 20%. I will be. You came on stage? Absolutely. Hit that 5-star, like and subscribe, and that's it. But you, right. And I would never be afraid to never be afraid or ashamed to go to work.
Wow. That is incredibly inspirational.
Thank you.
That is amazing and wonderful, fuel to a lot of the artists that are here right now and want to do something with their lives. And I do know that, growing up in the public sphere, I guess, for your children and your family, like, how do you guys keep the privacy, even though you guys are public figures?
Yeah, my dad gave me some good advice, and I've taken more advantage of it more and more. And that's let your private life be your private life. There's Kevin. It's not always Kevon.
Yeah,
you clock that T. I don't know what that means, but my niece says it all the time.
Precisely. When you think about it, do you think comedy was something you knew that was going to be like the end goal, or do you think it's more so a middle ground to get to where you want to be?
For me, I always enjoyed comedy. I think very young, I realized there was a value before money. I knew when I made my grandma laugh, she wouldn't make us go to bed. She wouldn't make me go to bed. My siblings, y'all ain't funny. But she'd allow me to stay up a little earlier or a little later and stay closer to grown folks' business. And I was like, oh, there's currency in this, making people laugh against themselves. Then I used to get bullied. I used to get beat up by this kid named Fat Tony. I hope he's in jail. But I remember, like, comedy was a diffusion tactic. He wouldn't always beat me up. He often would, but not always. And I remember comedy would get you, like, it would buy you some time. So before I got paid, I saw the value, and I always liked making people laugh. Also, comedy, and today, we're Black people. There's a lot of times you can speak truth to power through comedy as well. And also, the world sucks a lot of time, and there's only really dramas on TV right now. When I grew up, there was a lot of comedy on TV, and there are a lot of comedy movies. Mm-hmm. There's less comedy out. So I feel like I have to be like a little light for people who are going through a rough time. So some of my favorite interactions with people is like, hey, man, my grandma was sick with cancer, or I got fired, or we lost somebody, and your videos helped me get me through. A lot of people say you helped get me through the pandemic. Like, you just making videos, you and your friends making videos just helped me get me through the pandemic. And I'm eternally grateful. So I think we all play a role in community. I think entertainment and art is also a role. I think sometimes we try to diminish artists, but even during the Great Depression, movies still sold well. People would be like, I'm not going to eat because I need to get out and do something. So I think I take my part of that community very, it's very important to me to do my part, which is make people laugh.
Absolutely. And speaking on, comedy movies and everything that you're doing, I want to congratulate you on that Tubi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That is, I heard it's one of the most expansive.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying it's the most expensive. It is. People are saying because it's the most expensive creator partnership
deal. Oh my! How did that all come to be? And who was the first person you called?
To answer your question in a short way, the person who runs the creator verse at Tubi, he ran. He worked at Vimeo, and the CEO of Tubi both used to be at Vimeo. Vimeo was the hosting site for the KevOnStage Studios app, kind of on the back end. And I was putting my blood, sweat, tears, money, the boys' college fund, all into that app, trying to make it work. And I never met him, never talked to him, nothing like that. But he got the job at Tubi, and the first person he reached out to was me about doing a partnership. He said, you and your team converted so many subscribers to not be famous. He was like, we had all these famous people and they could not get any subscribers. And you actually had a profitable business. And we were like, how is this person doing this? Who is this creator? Because he's literally having subscribers. And we didn't have a lot to me. Like, we didn't have, obviously we shut down, so it wasn't enough to keep going. But he was like, you had a high number. It was like one of the best performing apps. So we knew, and that was behind a paywall. So that was $5.99. So he was like, if you can do that and people have to pay, then Tubi's free. I believe you'll be able to do the same thing. BET was getting ready to offer me a show, and they came in like, hey, before you sign this, what if we do this? And I said, I would like that. I think like to go from, they really wanted to make movies, but the reason I have the 6 project deal is because they want people to stay on Tubi. And they were like, you do the movie, they're going to watch one KevOnStage movie and then leave. But if we fill this up with this content, then when you make your movie, they'll be like, oh, I like this guy, I'll watch X, Y, and Z. So that's the long version of how that came to be.
No, that's incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
It's wonderful how you didn't stop at being a comedian. You decided you want to be multifaceted. You wanted to go down all of these lanes, TV, tours, video. And when did you realize that you wanted to build something bigger than yourself?
You're doing great. I've been interviewed by a lot of people. Oftentimes, they don't even know who I am. Maybe because you know me, but you're doing a great job. Just a quick aside. I'm like, man, it's going really well for you. I think as artists today, and this is an unfortunate part, it works for me because I have a lot of creative energy, but we don't really have the luxury of just doing our thing. Like, you can't just be an actress. You got to have a comedian either. Like, you got to run your own social media team. You got to be your social media company. You got to be a stylist. Like, back in the day, comedians could do their one set, go on Jay Leno or Carson, do their thing, tour, and do a TV show. Now you got to do this. You run your own socials. You got to do a podcast. You have to do all those things. So I think, luckily for me, what's really interesting, and I just credit God for this, what used to be frowned upon is now the path. So all I'm doing now was like, I did all this to get my foot in the door. I was posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram, doing all this. And it was because I was trying to get Hollywood's attention. And at that time, they were like, no, to be serious, you got to be an actor. You got to be mysterious. Social media is like frowned upon and stuff. And now they're like, oh, if you're an actor, like, what is your social presence? What else can you bring to the table? So now traditional actors are like, well, y'all told us we didn't have to do this. And now they feel behind the 8 ball. And I've been doing this because I had to. So now what was like frowned upon is now, the foundation. Oh my God, I'm in my alliteration bag today. So I think it was a necessity, and now it's just become needed. I think people just started to use their phones more and more and more and more. I talk about my kids all the time. I grew up, Ninja Turtles came on at 3:30 after school. If you weren't home at 3:30, Ninja Turtles didn't wait for you.
Ninja Turtles.
There's no on demand.
Yeah.
We didn't have no VCR, so you just be like, dang, ain't no Turtles today. Turtles don't. Like, you got to wait till Tuesday's Turtle. But now, Isaiah and Joe, they never turn the TV on to watch Turtles at this time. They search YouTube for Turtles, whatever. And media is, kids now are, and then our nieces who are younger than them, like Isaiah and them actually watch TV at a time. Our nieces are iPad. Like, iPad. Like, they're almost connected at the hip to YouTube and, Miss Rachel, whatever. So now what was like negative is now the necessity, the need. YouTube is challenging Netflix for the biggest thing. And the crazy thing is Netflix wasn't even a big thing 13 years ago. Netflix was just a place to watch old episodes of shows you liked all in one. You didn't have the DVD. Like,
was it like physical, right?
Yeah, it started. And before that, it was actually the renting movies by mail. Wow. And that's not even a part of the business model anymore.
I didn't get it.
Netflix is a legit platform. Like, I remember when they were so proud to get an award. Like, it's our first Oscar nom. Now it's the premier thing. This has all happened in the last 12, 14 years. So technology is just changing the way, and that's another reason I went with Tubi. I was like, I want to be part of the story of the creation of something. When somebody says, how did Tubi get big? I want that early life of Tubi's Wikipedia to be, KevOnStage did this. I want to be like, I want to open the door. And for me, the reason I hold the door for people is I actually started in plays. Before it was stand-up and I did plays. Yeah. That's why my YouTube channel is called The Playmakers. Me and my brother, my friend Ant.
Wow.
We made plays. And as you know, in a play, everybody is important to making the show work. It's not just the star. It's the understudy. It's the swing. It's the ensemble. It's the stage manager. It's the lighting design. It's the orchestra, people in the pit. It's the back of house. It's the people who help you make a quick change. If everybody's not rocking, the show suffers. It can't just be the star, right? You might come for whoever's the star, but if everybody doesn't work, the audience has a bad experience watching the play. So we made plays and we did the same thing, background singers and all that. So for me, and also I played sports and I was never really good, but I wanted to win. And in order to win, if you're not really good, you just got to do your part. I might not be scoring, but I'm rebounding, I'm setting screens, I'm boxing out. Like the Knicks won. It's amazing.
Yes, Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
Yes.
And one of the reasons they won is because OG Anunoby wasn't boxed out. That is like the small thing they teach you in basketball, and he won the game, and that's how plays work. Everybody's got to do their part. So for me, I want the audience to have a good experience. So on my first tours, I took really good comedians, and some comedians were like, you should have took people who weren't as funny as you. So the audience is like, oh, he's really funny. And I'm like, I don't want people to watch 40 minutes of trash because then they're going to be like, man, those first two dudes suck. Even if I'm good, they're like, man, I wish he had better people. So to me, I'd rather have you have a better experience overall. So that's why I try to get the best of the best people. And that all my stuff is better because I'm not really intimidated by other great talent. I think it elevates everything that I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Round of applause. That's incredible, Raul. And that brings me back to something I realized in college, that competitive nature that you brought up. I was in college and everybody around me just wanted to party. They wanted to go out. They wanted to go drinking and they wanted to go to football. Like I just never was really into that stuff. I didn't join clubs. I didn't really like date around. Like I was never interested in that stuff. And I felt like an outsider a lot of the times. And so my question to you is like, what do you want to say to people who may feel ostracized for having these gigantic dreams in their head?
You really have to see it before it's there. Like delusion is a creative's best attribute. Like, because most people are not creative, right? And it's not because they don't have the ability, it's because they're afraid to even try. So it's easier to convince you not to do it because I'll feel better if you stay down here in fear with me. But if you go past what I think, and there's nothing worse than going past what people think you're capable of. It's shining a mirror on people. So I think sometimes people lash out because you really have gone beyond what you thought was possible for you. And that means am I accepting just my life as is? You know what I mean? So I think there is a community everywhere. I was never like amazing at anything except making people laugh and creating. Like I was an okay everything else. But once I fell into what I was good at and I found my people, I felt like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then unlocks more creativity, more passion because people are like, oh, yes, Ed, you should do this and you should do that, as opposed to stop, that's not good. Nobody's gonna like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. And I think what is interesting is I want to bring up your point to where you were making 4 videos a day. You just kept continuing to create because you had to.
I was doing that when I was waiting for this. I was in the
I believe it.
editing.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, I was like, Google me right now. They said like, not yet. So I was like, okay, let me post this real quick. And then on my ride back home, I'm on my way to dinner with my family. I'm going to shoot another video and post it before I get home. And that's going to be 4 or 5 today.
Wow.
So what y'all doing? You feel me? Y'all had to hustle with your boy, baby.
We got a skit today. We got some planned for let's do something. But there was a time when nobody was asking for interviews and no one was buying tickets and watching videos. And I want to know, how do you keep yourself grounded to that person that was not getting the response that he wanted, even as you're expanding your success now?
Another great question, Marley Mar. What worked for me is I focused on the work and the output. Because that's all I really could control. I can't make you watch my video, but I can make it. And this is one good thing I've learned about making a video every day, and it's really helped me. No matter how well that day's videos did or how poorly, the next day you got to do it again. So I have some days where 3 videos will hit 1 million, and I'm like, I am that racial slur. And the next 3 or 4 days, it might be Dud McGee. And I'm just like, dang. Sometimes I'll just wait, like, okay, let me start again. So I think it keeps you focused on what you can control. And really, honestly, if I'm too focused on the results, I get too up when it's up and too down when it's down. And then I'm chasing like, oh man, what do I do to get it? Man, what do I do this? And all that's out of my control. I can control making 2 videos a day and posting them everywhere. So that's what I do. And I think I just, let a lot of those things pile up, and also I don't chase virality at all. I've learned that my favorite videos of other creators don't have to be their best performing videos of all time to be my favorite, right? My favorite episode of a TV show doesn't have to be your favorite. But a lot of times creators, we put that thing up and it doesn't do well, we'll take it down or we won't post. If you don't post it or you take it down, you don't even give people a chance to enjoy it. If you post it and it doesn't, one view, that one person might be like, I love Marley forever now. So I think I always focus on the process and the progress and not the actual results.
Wow. And I love what you're saying about, you know, one person is more than enough. It's momentous, you know, and I always saw it as I saw this quote one time. It was like a person or one follower or one view is a building block.
Yeah.
And continuously, you know, it could get higher, but even just having one person and everybody showing up today is just, it is so huge.
Yeah, you have a great, people always pull up for you. They all, when Isaiah was like, can you do Marley's podcast? I was like, I can't. You just have a thing where people want to support you. When we went to your show and Zay was like, there's going to be her Girl Scout troop was there. I'm like, of course. But we all have that, you know, and I think, I think about artists who I love watching artists who like hit a festival and then they have their video when they were performing and it was like 12 people. Because if you can give it to them 12 people like it is 12,000, them 12 people become the 12,000. Like there's people who saw you last night. They're like, I like that girl who played Ali. I'm gonna look in the playbill and follow her on Instagram, and they'll probably be watching this podcast. But that's because you delivered every time. And I think that's the part you can control. And I think that's really what it is about being a creative is the part you can control, do that and do that consistently and don't get in your head about it and do 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 it and only compete with yourself. That's another thing too. I think Issa Rae is not my competition. Neither is Quinta. Neither is anybody else. These people are running their race. They might be opening the door for me. And I think sometimes we think, oh, I should have that. I should have that. That ain't my story. So I don't want to waste my energy being frustrated about what they did or didn't do it. That should be me. That is not my path. And also what I realize is sometimes it hasn't happened, but it's been happening. And a lot of times you've been building, like I think if I would have blown up early, it would have been bad for my kids, bad for my marriage, bad for my mental health. Like I needed to get drugged on Twitter in 2020 and learn, oh, everybody's not gonna like me? Because when my bubble was small, it was only my fans. Like that's the part I miss about only having 12 views. There wasn't no hate. There wasn't no racism, wasn't no bots. There was really 12 people like, man, I like you, Kev. But now your video go viral, it reached the wrong side of the internet. They'll purposely miss the joke. Like, had I not got dragged in 2020, I wouldn't be prepared for how people talk about me today.
Wow.
The roots, though. Not the band, the tree stuff.
The tree stuff, the leaves and all of that. But yeah, I love watching, you know, I'm sure everybody here loves watching the videos with you and the boys, and they're so enjoyable. I'm curious, what's something that they've made fun of you this week about?
Man. I feel like I'm just cringe to them sometimes. Like, no matter how cool you are, like, look at these shoes. They be like, they ain't tough twins, right? See, that's cringe.
They gotta keep.
I just want to talk like you. So I don't think they haven't said like, they don't roast me like that because, you know what I'm saying, don't ever disrespect me. But the way they look at me, I know they'd be like, oh my God. And like I can feel that energy. So I feel like your parents are just cringe no matter who they are. I noticed this with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. To their own kids, they are still cringe. I remember one thing that made me proud about Isaiah. When he wanted to vote for gay rights, and that was important to him. And I realized, oh snap, I have done a good job. Because the first time he gets to vote, he wants to protect people that are important to him. And I thought, okay, that's a good thing as a parent. You know what I'm saying? And Joe, we were just talking to JoJo, and he was talking about blackness and protecting it, and being black was important to him and how he stood in the black community. And I was like, oh dang, like all that stuff. When you're a parent, it feels like they don't listen at all. Like you say this stuff and they just be like, and then when they grow up, you realize, oh, y'all really heard what we were talking about. You just act like you didn't hear me. You know what I'm saying? So at this age, you really get to see the things you instilled in them become a part of who they are. And that probably is the best part.
No. Well, thank you, Kevin. I have one last question
All right, cool.
today. So when a movie is made about you,
Idris Elba. Dancing, just probably. Aaron Pierre's a little light, but I think he has the aura that really. He's just gonna have to be bald. You know, those are probably my top 3. I just want you to know, give me a British man.
That was like.
Oh, dang! I know only 3 British. I didn't. It was all British people.
That was really good. That was really good. But man, I mean, when we were kids, and you know, when
you didn't answer a question.
I was gonna ask who would play it.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time thinking of that.
Oh my gosh, that's the best answer I've been about. I mean, but yeah, I mean, when we were kids, and you know, when we were at school or at the house, when I was whooping Isaiah at WWE. I don't know if you know how much I was listening or paying attention to what was going on in the background. Like when y'all were preparing for meetings, or, you had a phone call and you were talking about your schedule, and, we essentially emulated what you were doing in middle school. We were creating skits and we were having fun, but at the essence of that, we were really just inspired by you.
Wow. You were nosy. You should have been knowing your own feelings. Then you would have been grown folk business. But if that's the reason you were, I never thought about that. I think, so I heard this before, like parents, it's not what you say, it's what you do that your kids pick up on. So the fact that you were inspired by that, and that, for me, also the good part about being a parent, one thing I love is that my kids' friends feel welcome in our house. Like they've come in and shot videos, ate food, the gang from from middle school to college, and JoJo's friends as well.
Yeah.
They be up in there creating. I love coming home and seeing Isaiah and them shooting videos, because it's like, y'all, you can be creative here. You know what I mean? This is a safe space. Y'all can have something to eat. I'd be like, get them boys some wings, get them some Chinese food or whatever. Use the loft, use the cameras, use the equipment, use the lights. Like, you should be able to use your family's resources to pursue your dream. So the fact that you are on Broadway tour because of me, I don't take that lightly. The fact that if not for me in my house, I know your mom and dad, sure. But the real difference maker was your time at my house. And because of that, you're at the Pantages. It's like, who are me? Who are me to not take credit for your success? I mean,
I appreciate you and Mrs. Melissa for setting that example, and, letting little black kids and little kids anywhere really see y'all and helping them understand that they can dream it too.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming today.
Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of
Hey Soleil.
Fantastic. Y'all be easy now.